way too early for the fake. This that real game for real bros. No decaf, no cap. Welcome to Shogun Bros, no decaf. Live every weekday, 6:30 in the morning, Central Time. Did you hear what I said? Central Time. We talk dogs, bloodline building to yard work, from stud talk to the truth behind the pups. This ain't no highlight reel. It's how you really build legacy. Shogun Bros, no decaf. Pull up, pull up, handle yours. This ain't just content. It's culture. Welcome to the Cookout with Toyo, where family vibes meet front porch truth. No scripts, no filters, just heart, heat, and hot plates. Ooh. Step up with elevated perspective, with elevated game for grown men and women building mind, spirit, and vision. And men at work with pimps over simps. Choice. Real convos, no cap, all purpose for the men behind the mission. 3 shows, 1 network, all gas, no decaf. Put no creamer in my man. Look, Shogun Unlimited, man. Press play and get, man. Come on, press play, press play.
Hey, what's happening, man? What's going down? And we back.
Just chilling. So, this morning I'd like to open up with a moment of silence.
Okay.
We had a brother, Mark Anthony Bolaware. He passed away recently. I don't know the feller, but he wasn't very old, and that's real sad.
What's his name?
Mark Anthony Bolaware. He's a fellow dogger.
Okay.
Yeah. Rest in peace to that brother.
Yeah.
I hate that, man. I don't know. The older I get, the more seeing like younger people die bothers me. Just to be honest with you.
It does, man. It does, man. It's just part of life, though. You know, you gotta celebrate people while they're here.
Yep, that's for sure.
Yeah, you gotta celebrate people while they're here, man.
Yep, I don't think a lot of people are doing enough of that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Big Hill swings too.
He might. What you call it, man? So a viewer had called in and wanted you to touch on something real quick, man.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I asked the question about if you saw, a kid that was that was into the dogs and trying to do his thing, would you eventually give him a dog? There's a lot of other stipulations that I put around it, but you had said and I don't think people know with the situation that you said so let me go and so I said if you saw a young man, kid between the ages, I don't know, we'll say 11 to 19, who's really, really, really into the dogs. He has a dog that's maybe a pit mix or something like that. He has all the pride in the world with his dog. He walks around everywhere with the dog. He tries to, get insight, and you can see him taking pride in the dog. And I asked, would you, if you could take him under your wing per se, would you give him a dog? And you said yes. And the caller wanted to know, because you had spoke of the story of the child being in your situation being 11 years old. Mm-hmm. So they wanted you to kind of go into depth to what your relationship is with that child, or is that family to you?
The one that called me asking all these questions?
Well, he just wanted you to not just go into detail, because for the public, not specifically your situation, because your situation is unique to your relationship to him. Like, the parents, you know what I'm saying? You have an in-depth relationship with the family. So broadly speaking, for somebody on the outside listening, they might take it the wrong way and think that you would just give a dog to just any old kid. It's like, you got, what I'm saying? It's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference in the level that you can tell that kid's at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, in a situation like that, like, you wouldn't just see the kid and just give him a dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? The parents, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's lots of stipulations to whether or not I'd give him a dog, but right. I took all those out of when I've said it, I pretty much checked all the boxes already.
Yeah,
and just was like, yeah, you know what I mean. Like, at one time I was that young kid, right? And if my parents would have told me no, then where would I be today?
Right.
You know what I mean? What would I have today if my parents would have told me no, or my grandma, or like, literally one move could have changed everything I had done for the last 7-8 years, right? If my nanny would have said no, I don't want to breed her, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have even had Mason. So that could have, like, not only did she give me a dog at, like 17 years old, which there's a couple things that changes my factor too, but at the same time, not only did she give me that dog, like, it projected me so far into the future. So, like, if I could do that for a kid, go. Get out of there. If I can do that for a kid, why would I not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of these people are too picky. Like, they want these owners to fit every single, little thing, when that's just not reality. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, a lot of people will say, oh, well, if they already have a dog, I won't give them a dog. So, like, I don't know. Some of the stuff people says, I don't think they realize they're disrespecting somebody else's intelligence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I really don't think they realize they're doing that. Like, whenever they're like, oh, I wouldn't give somebody with another dog a dog off of my stuff. Like, I don't know. So what? People's not supposed to sell me dogs because I got 20 of them?
Right. Well,
I've had people do that to me. Do you have any other? Like, you can't sell you. I'm like, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. They all live on chains. They all have their own setup. I'm not somebody to worry about just because I have more dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are weird with how picky they are.
Well, I mean, to each his own, because at the end of the day, like, these dogs are what these dogs are. And, they're not suitable for everybody, man. But, like, I've seen, I was the kid, to a certain extent, man. Not at the beginning, but, like, when I really got into it, I was into it. But even my mentor wouldn't even, he would give me a blue. He gave me a blue before he gave me one of his, his dogs or whatnot. But he, a funny story is, like, he gave me the blue, and he literally gave me the Richard Stratton book, and I got this dog on my lap, but
so that move right there, do you see that as him trying to push you forward?
Well, it was kind of because I was hanging around. I was hanging around. I was messing with him. We were messing around on something completely different. But he had dogs, and I would hang around all the time and stuff. And, he had a litter on the ground. He was, I was asking him about the litter, and he was like, "Nah, but I tell you what, I'll give you one of these." And he gave me the book also, man. He told me to get back with him. I read that book back and forth, man, and fell apart or whatnot. And I still have it now. Like I went and bought it again,
Yep. Yeah. So like the way I see it is like he was testing you and setting you up all in one move.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's my boy. That's my boy. And funny thing is, today he don't even fool with the dogs. He got exotic bullies.
Okay. Hell, that's still
it's funny to me.
That's still fooling with dogs.
Nah, but he's deep in the game, and he knows what he's doing.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. So like him giving you the blue dog, right, instead of one of his beloved, that he'd spent so much time with. He was probably seeing if you were gonna take and do stupid shit with it before he ever let you get one of his dogs that he put a lot of hard work, time, and effort into. I've known people to do that.
At the time, like he was one of the main people getting hated on in that area. Like all the other dog men didn't like him at all. So he didn't know who I.
If you're making any traction, everybody around you is gonna hate.
Yeah.
I've seen that in my little small town.
Yeah. Nah, everybody.
So,
yeah.
Welsh said he's got to work with me for a year straight before any dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I might give him one and it stays there for the first year. You know what I mean? Raise it, come full with it. Like there's a few different scenarios. It really just depends on the kid. You know what I mean? Like there might be a kid I'd give one to take home and let his parents give a little bit of insight on raising it because I know who they are. Or I might see another kid and I'm like, well, shit, leave it here. Come take care of it here. I'll show you what to do, and then eventually you can take it, because I might know his home situation ain't set up for it.
Yeah.
Anything. I mean, I don't know. The next generation is our future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they don't realize that. And I also had people in my local area. Like, I went to a dog show, and I was loving all over these dogs, talking to these people, and I'm only like 15, 14, right? And and I was talking to them, and I told them, they were like, oh, well, you'd have to get a dog from us if you wanted to be able to breed. These are local people. Pretty much they said I'd have to buy one of their $3,500 pieces of shit in order to get in the group to breed with them. And they were telling me that as a young kid. I don't know. I've never looked up to them. I can't fucking stand them, and they know it. It ain't like it's a secret. Trust me. They know it. I fucking told them. So, and I hate them because of that. The way they did, now that I'm an adult, the way they did me as a kid, I'm like, nah, fuck you. You're scum. Flat out. Like, didn't even see my love and, appreciation for these dogs and trying to make something better out of that. You just saw me as another customer? Nah.
Dickie Foster, what's happening? Salute with that tip, man. Appreciate it, man. Hey, Elevated, you got to be going to the chat, man. You be missing out on the chat, man.
I feel confident in my blood that no matter who gets one of mine, the dog is ready. Yeah, that's true. They were asking a clarification about me giving a dog to a kid. So, like, I'll put it this way, too, right? So, I've made these dogs for many, many generations. If I feel a kid deserves one, I don't have to explain it to anybody. Except for his parents. You know what I mean? That's the only people I have to explain why I feel that he needs one or not. Because there's some kids that, like, say they're doing good in school. You know what I mean? And they want to fool with one outside. Because, like, I live in the country. Kids got a lot of time and room and area to play with these dogs. You know what I mean? So, if I might want to give them one to, to raise up, and it really just depends on their love, man. That's where, like, if I can see that they were like me at a young age, I'm not going to try to make $1 off of them, and I'm going to try to build them up, because nobody in my area did that to me as a kid. I had to go and get my shit and do this my own. Like, nobody was. That's why I don't talk about mentors very much. You know what I mean? My dad, he'd been out of it for a little while, so like he didn't even point me in the direction of anybody to go to. I checked all the boxes myself and made it happen. Let's see. Hell yeah. Well said. My yard man young, and he been with me for 4 years and got his own yard now with top-notch bulldogs. Hell yeah. See, that's what building them up. Building them up, adding growth to their lifestyle. Like it's our job. Everybody in the dog groups wants to talk about my generation of dog people. Like, oh, they not doing it right. They not doing it right. I know who to put the blame on, but it's gonna hurt some feelings. I'll be real with you on that. The ones we can put the blame on is the generation before me. Nobody took us in. Nobody tried to help us. They all just saw us as a customer or competition, or I mean, I don't know. There's different levels to this. Some people, like there was a older guy in my area that owned heavy snooty dogs. Now he put kids on, bro. Like he gave my buddy. He's older than me. He's in his late 50s. He gave my buddy his first dog when he was young. Hell, he used to ride his bicycle there at like 12 years old. But knew he had dogs. Would ride his bicycle up there just to see his dogs. And he told him to ask his dad if he could buy one. You know what I mean? If he could have one. And not buy one, if he could have one. And he would come back and told him that his dad said they didn't have enough money, and he gave him one. You know what I mean? Like that right there. And I talk to him a lot. He's who I buy my dog food from. So I look up to that guy. You know what I mean? The way he's talked to me. He seen me in the store, hell, 15 years old, buying 10, 15 bags of dog food. And he asked me, what are you feeding? And I told him, I said, pit bull terriers. And he was like, oh, I had a bunch of pit bull terriers. That's how it even come up. Like before I even heard the story about him giving my buddy the dog. Let's see. I shoveled shit for a year and cleaned the old man's yard before I got the blood I have today. I was a young kid and he only gave me a outcrossed. It took me 3 years to get one of his pure blood. Yeah. Yep. If you're talking big A, I can't hear you. So Welch said, my yard man had to learn how to read peds before we even talked about dogs. Then he had to learn the performance. Then he had to learn how to work and feed them. Then he got his dogs. Yeah, like there's like that's where like you saw that in him. You know what I mean? He needed to take it that step. I took him. A dude that was older than me, dude. I schooled him out on everything, the history, all that. And he's older than me, but I just knew about it, so I schooled him out to it. I didn't charge him nothing. You know what I mean? And hell, that's one of my best friends. Like we became best friends because of the altercation that we had. But I mean, like the problem with a lot of these dogs and the way people move in today's world is like nobody was an example of how we should at that age.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They really weren't. Like I'm really mainly speaking for people in my area. People in my area, I'm telling you, they were just they wanted to succeed and they didn't care if they tore a kid down in the process or not. You know what I mean? And I have a problem with that big time. Like the junior handler, that's one of my favorite things to see because I used to be one of them. I didn't go to the dog shows and do the junior handler, but I used to be. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And like when I got in the dog shows and they had a junior handler class, I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even think about it. Like I've been to junior dragsters. How smart is it for some of them people to give a drag car to a kid? Like I literally know of a little girl that passed away not too long ago in a junior dragster. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and nitpick everybody. Yep. Big C, he said, I have that same blood today. Yeah, it made you love it. Made you respect it.
Right.
Made you respect it. But like, I don't know. We can build this next generation up. It's in our hands, literally. Like, we could show them how men are supposed to talk and work with each other, how business is supposed to be conducted. Like, we set that example. That's why I'm so picky. Like, hell, my dad set that example for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it just depends on the parents for me. I don't really want to be a teacher, but I'll help a youngster out if the parents are cool and sober. Yeah, see, that's another thing I said too. Like, it depends on the parents, you know? Because some parents, like, the kid might be great, but his parents might be dope heads. So therefore, I don't want my dogs living in a dope house. But at the same time, like, if I know the parents, see, that's where I know this kid called. I know his parents and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, just, because a lot of people might think that it'd be like, just, you know what I'm saying, misunderstanding. That's all.
Yeah. So I know his parents. Like his dad, I hung out with him a lot in the summertime because he mowed my granny's yard and I'd help him weed eat, and he'd pay me to help him weed eat out of what they paid him to mow the yard. Like he just, get me out there doing stuff. His name's Little Man, coolest dude ever, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, I love Little Man to death. And his mom, like, we're related, you know what I mean? Like, we're cousins. Me and Little Man is cousins. Me and Little Man's son is cousins. I was calling him Little Man. McKenna.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, so that really, like, I saw him, he called me, asked me all these questions, like, I told him, I said, if you want to get into dogs, come and hang out, work with them, and I might hook you up.
You had said that he was asking you some real complex questions for his age.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. For an 11-year-old little boy, hell yeah, he was asking me questions that most of these grown men don't ask me. I'll say that every time. Because he was asking me about, like, why did I breed them? Why did I pick this breed? You know what I mean? How long have I had them? He told me that he wanted to breed his German or his Malinois with his buddy's Malinois, but so like he's already got a dog that's more dangerous than a pit bull. I'll just say that he owns Malinois, like real deal Malinois, and I told him, he was like, I want to breed them, but we don't know how. Like talking about him and his buddy, and I was like, well, if your parents tell me it's okay, I can come over and help you lock them up. I'll bring my breeding stand and we'll lock them up, like for sure. Wells, what's up, bro?
Ain't shit, chilling on this damn rainy day, man.
Yeah, I know this rain's killing me. It's rained on and off for like 3 days now. It's supposed to rain all week. Supreme. But yeah, I don't know. Like, as far as like people putting me on, man, nobody did that for me. You know what I mean? I had to work up and grind and hustle from the fucking bottom to get what I have today. So like, that's one reason I am the way I am about them. And that's also another reason I am the way I am towards these kids and the dogs. Like, I don't know. And then like, now that I look at the people who were that way towards me, I'm like, no wonder. Y'all were grimy as shit back then. I just didn't realize it because I was a kid. That's one reason that's one reason I'm willing to steer a kid more in the right direction, because I'm not gonna lie to you. That kid that called me, he mentioned them people to me, and I told him, nah, they ain't a good example for somebody like you. That's exactly what I told him. I said, them are a horrible example for a boy like you. I said, "You're smart. You know what I mean? You're asking me questions." That's when I told him he's ahead of his age. I was like, "Nah, you don't even need to fool with him. Just call me and I'll come and breed them for you, and I won't charge you nothing. I don't care." Sometimes them little memories with, men, they set up a kid's idea of life for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? That's the way men are supposed to move. That's what they're supposed to do. I don't know. It's important. It's important to push these kids forward.
Plus, it's different altogether because if you look at a lot of these groups, like say the people that like you said, motherfucker charge you $3,500 to get a dog and breed within that circle. But the problem with that is most of the people's in them circles, most of them just chasing pigs because if you because mind you, a lot of them people are still out here today. So if you actually pay attention to their yard, they can't get past 2 generations because when certain names start to disappear, they don't know what to do anymore.
Yep.
Other than somebody that came up like me, you, my yard man, and other people who wasn't into that bullshit and really got to know the dog and learn other things about the dog to move forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's one thing about them people too that did me that way, right? Is they were definitely just chasing pets because these were bullies I was talking to them about.
Hey,
so
Big Hill
hit
us twice with the 2-piece, man. Salute,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Salute. Yes, sir.
Swing through, Big Hill.
Man, I got my hands full right now.
I asked him about you when you wasn't on the other day. Make sure you're all right.
No, Big Hill, bring your ass up here, Big Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then I don't know, like these same people, right? So the way they did me, they tried to charge me that much money for that dog back then, right? Well, I get into the dogs, I establish my own yard, my own dogs I've got to breed, all this stuff, and then a lady that has one of their dogs, she said, "Would you come help me breed them?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll come help you breed them." I didn't mention her giving me anything. I just literally went because I don't know why. Well, why ain't you calling them? Is one thing I thought, but I didn't say nothing. I just went and bred them and helped her breed them. We locked them up once, and she ended up having like 8 or 9 puppies. And throughout it all, she ended up giving me one of them. And that lady, some shit come up when she was talking shit to me. And she said something about she sends people wanting cheaper dogs my way. She'll know who she is when I say that. I don't really give a shit neither. But she said she sends people who are wanting cheaper dogs my way. And I said, well, that's funny. I got one of your dogs in my backyard for free. What took all the Facebook posts down and all this shit? Like, yeah, you want to talk shit to me about your $3,500 dogs when I know for a fact y'all are giving them away.
Wait, who you saw? You said a lady?
Yeah. In my area.
You talking about in Carolina?
Yeah, they're bullies though.
Oh, all right, never mind.
That's why I quit even because I have a bully. Hell, I had a male bully, and I had a bunch of bullies at one point in time that I had acquired. I was gonna breed them a little bit, I like bullies. They're not, if they're the right ones, they're not bad. All these you could put on hogs. These wasn't no. The only one you couldn't is Maggie, and she's my inside dog. But they were like still good bullies, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I just quit fooling with them. That's why I went my way completely. I don't even own other dogs.
You see that one TikTok I sent you?
And another reason is like I don't have to ask anybody's permission when I'm my own way, have my own things. And I'm really excited because like my daughter is this last year, she's gotten to the point where like she's paying attention to what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like she knows how to do a lot of this stuff now because of just watching me. And like every time what's that? Why do you do that? You know, like this and that. Like miss questions. That's all she is. But I'm fine with that, dude. I love that. I've been waiting for the day for her just to start asking questions and questions and questions. Hell yeah, I'm gonna give her all the knowledge I can, every bit of it. Like she'll have a mentor. Yeah, I don't have to ask permission. That's why, like, when I bred Mason to Sissy and people's like, why'd you do that, this and that? Like, man, I ain't gonna answer to you. I did that to make badass dogs. I don't care what the papers say. And it did. But
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel that people need to add a little more emphasis. Like, we are the ones building the future. Everybody wonders why my generation has it so messed up. All these, okay, for an example, Welsh mentioned these groups, right? All these stupid questions you see asked in these groups all the time. If they had men building them up from a young age, they would not have to ask these stupid questions in these groups. They'd already know the answers. And I'm not talking about like asking honest questions. There's questions that are honest questions, you know. I'm like, that's a pretty good way to put it. But then there's questions I'm like, come on now. You could have Googled that before you even put it on the group. Shit. I don't know. Like if there was people building them up, they wouldn't even be asking that shit.
Everybody ain't gonna have the sense God gave the turtle, man.
Yeah, for real.
It just everybody just ain't gonna have it. You know,
well, I mean, okay, so I've seen the flip side.
You could save that one individual, reach one, teach one, and you could just be like cool with that. Just be like, I know there's one person out there. I talk to him everything I know, and he promised me he'll do the same thing.
Yep.
Other than that, it's really out our hands, bro.
Yep. So, like, the flip side to that, right? I went to school with a kid that his daddy was a bulldogger. Hell, he had 75 dogs at one time. I know that. Like, I went over there as a kid. Like, my dad knew him. Like he had 75 dogs on the yard. And, he don't own a single dog today. Dipshit is the best way to put it. Dipshit. Like, and I'm like, come on now. Like, you grew up on one of the baddest yards I've ever seen. But don't know shit about dogs. Never paid enough attention to know nothing. Like, it's weird. Like, not long ago, before the flood, I was out there working in my dog yard, right? And I look over. I don't know why. I just got a feeling. Look over. And I look up, and there's a dude sitting in a Chevy truck in my driveway where my dog yard is. And I didn't know who it was. I just walk out there. Well, as soon as I walk out there, I knew who it was. And he was like, man, you reminded me. He said, I was just sitting here watching. You reminded me of me back in the day. The things you were doing, the way you were taking care of him. Because, like, I mean, hell, I'm over here talking to him, fooling with him. I didn't even know he was sitting there. I don't know how long he was sitting there. He said he was sitting there for about 20 minutes. Because, I mean, I'm blind. So if I was all the way out of my other end of the dog yard, I couldn't tell, you know. But, because my dog yard was long and skinny. Well, he said, you reminded me of stuff I used to do back in the day. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you know who I am, don't you? And he was like, nah. I was like, I told him who I was. He was like, shoot. He said, you was just a youngin' on my yard. It was the guy with the 75 dogs. For some reason, he seen me working with my dogs and pulled in and watched me. He was just talking to me. I was like, that's cool. So, like, he's the one I can't say, you know, it really didn't pump a kid up. But, like, he didn't give me no balls or nothing, but I was definitely around him, and he definitely, like, if you ask a question, he'd give you an answer. So, like, I've seen the flip side of that. Like, his son don't know shit, but then some kid that just stopped by there a few times remembers things that his dad said. It's weird as hell. People don't realize the impact they have on these kids.
Yeah, you got some people that care about the kids. You got some people that be like, fuck these kids.
Yep. Well, most of the time, they ain't got kids themselves. The ones that says fuck them kids, they ain't got kids.
Hey, it's a straight yeah and nah.
Or they got kids with some female they don't give a shit about, and it makes them having kids a hard situation for them.
Yeah.
Anybody that has a kid that he loves of his own ain't gonna say fuck these kids.
Right. Yeah, most definitely. Or kid.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so like my daughter, she said something about, do other kids feed their dogs like this? And I told her, I said, most kids don't have this many dogs. And she was like, what? I said, most kids don't have this many dogs at their house. Like, you do things that are unique to you that other kids don't do. You know what I mean? Like, I had to explain that to her. She didn't even realize it because it's been her whole life. So she don't even realize that. Anyone who's been around the breed for more than a minute takes note of a pedigree. Come on now, how many of y'all go out there and trip over any old dog without knowing its lineage or papers? I mean, I've seen dogs I really like that I didn't know how they were bred.
I do.
Yeah.
I you know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, I look at the dog first before I even think about the pedigree. You know, the dog got to catch my eye, and you know, I got to like everything about the dog before I, you know,
Even give two
ask
shits about its pedigree. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a little shorty, I ain't know nothing about no pedigree. So
yeah, I didn't give a shit about no
so I'm going out there tripping about anything about the dog. It took me to get older and to really know what the definition and the meaning of a pedigree is. So in order for first you gotta know how to appreciate a pedigree and move it forward. Cause shit, when I first started having these dogs, I ain't know none of that shit. I just knew what the dog was, and like I said, I had them motherfuckers I had the motherfuckers in the hood and shit. So I'm tripping about anything. But then once I evolved and learned what the pedigree was, then I knew, okay, yeah, I wouldn't go out there tripping about no inbred bullshit.
So he said go to the pound, plenty in there. Okay, so in my area, there's a line of dogs that are really well known, and if I could get my hands on them, I would. And they do not have a pedigree. They are purebred pit bulls. The guy didn't give out the pedigree. So like I know people that bought them, and they knew that they had half brothers and sisters and shit, and they breed them together, and they have been doing that for a long time. And I mean, like I could probably get a pedigree on them now because they've been doing that for so long since that guy passed away. But like, I promise, I don't, dude. It don't have papers or nothing. If somebody offered me one of them, and I know when I'm looking at one, I can 100% tell you that's from that shit. I would take one in a heartbeat. I don't give a fuck about his papers.
And James said, "Go to the pound. There's plenty there."
Yeah. Well, that's why I brought that up. There's real pit bull terriers without a known pedigree.
Yeah. You know, and I'm not saying it like I'm not disregarding the pedigree by no means whatsoever. But so before I even got into these dogs, I had my first dog was a German Shepherd. My second dog was a Rottweiler, and I was a kid, and like a lot of things that would happen at that time frame in my life caused me to be like extra close with these dogs. And you know, so when I started to you know build an actual bond with the dog itself, you know, this is me from a kid, man. So like even now I still have that kid mind frame with a dog, like, you know, the bonding perspective. So when I did get my first, you know, bulldog, man, and building a bond with the dog, man, it was like none other, man, you know, the loyalty and everything involved with the dogs, man. So I always look at the dog, man, because I see things in the dog, like I pay attention to the dog, not just this breed. I mean, just any dog that catches my eye. I'm watching this movement. I'm watching if You know what I'm saying? If it's a serious dog, if it's a calm dog, if it's calm and serious, if it's active and serious. I mean, I look at all of these things. So naturally, when I step in, if a dog catches my eye, I'm looking at a whole bunch of other things that has nothing to do necessarily with the eye having to do with the pedigree. I'm paying attention to the character of the dog. I'm watching how the dog moves. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I look at the dog. And then if the dog is really something that then I'm intrigued. Now I'm trying to dive into what I'm looking at, and ask questions. But that's just me though.
That's because you got the eye of the tiger, young man.
But I mean, but at the same time, it was because I'm telling you, because for me, like it didn't start with this breed. It just started with me, as a child bonding with a dog. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah,
That
But
was
see,
me too.
let me say this right quick. Tony, this for Tony, and I agree with you, Big A, because my favorite breed overall is Rottweilers. That's
right,
my other breed that most people don't know I have.
right,
But the thing is, Tony, the thing with the papers versus no papers, and I keep saying this over and over. The problem is that these newer dogmen are fucking lazy. They want to keep up with the old dogmen standards, but they're not doing what the old dogmen did. So they just like to hear themselves talk because the older dogmen wasn't chasing each other's stuff. They bought their stock, they got it farmed, they looked at it, and then they bred their own stuff. That's why we have
yeah,
multiple families with different names on it instead of what we
yeah,
have today, to where this person want the fucking Jeep 600 times and they paid. This person trying to hold on to the same paid. That's the problem today. It's not
but that,
about the papers. It's the
but that,
names that people don't want to let go. It's
but
not
see,
the
that's the
papers.
yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Because for me, like, uh, it's a whole bunch of bloodlines that I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I haven't touched the dog. I don't know. So I'm going off of what, you know what I'm saying? Me just saying
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have to
yeah.
stick to this. You know what I'm saying? So like I actually just look at the dog because it might be something I've never seen before. So I'm looking at the actual dog. I try to take all of that stuff and throw it out the window. What am I looking at before me now? You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I look at it.
I
I
mean, yeah,
was I was
that's
at
absolutely
Thanksgiving
right.
the other
And,
day.
the dogmen of today, not all of them, but most of them are
You went out.
Every time he gets a cooking good too.
so you to know a certain formula. But at the
Hey,
end of the day,
Welsh, you got to back up and start from the beginning because you went out.
oh no, I was just saying the ped is just a roadmap. But at the end of the day, that's just for you to know what made the dog. But if you're in it, even if you just doing tug of war, wall climb, if you're doing performance, at the end of the day, if you focusing on performance, and you putting the best to best, 9 times out of 10, you should be moving forward. Now, now, Tony, with the dogs without papers, that really don't mean nothing because I'm pretty sure they have siblings. Can you go see the siblings and see what the siblings are doing? Can you go see what the half siblings are doing? Can you go see other things? So the papers is one thing, but be more focused on the actual family of dogs because the family of dogs can show you more than what the paperwork can, if that makes sense.
There's traits that ain't written down on that paper.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, like I said, I have paper and unpaper dogs, but at the end of the day, any dog can get paper. So, if you are putting the best to best, like all these people claim they are doing, then you can move forward and add your paperwork down the line as foundation stuff. So, that whole paper versus non-paper thing, it kind of get old at some point because you start to realize a lot of these people are not putting in work. They just looking for paperwork.
Man, they ass
It
putting
gives
the
them
best to the
it
rest.
gives them
They
a
ass ain't
sense
putting
of
the best to the
security.
best. They putting the right to
I
the
mean,
rest.
okay, okay. like elevated. Okay, say we do that breeding, right? Both our dogs got papers, but we don't technically have to register those dogs because I got the dogs and you got the I got the dogs and you got the dogs. So four generations from now, we could go back and register the dogs again under a foundation stock.
Yep.
So like I said, people need to stop getting so caught up versus the paper versus non-paper and do the work and make your own paperwork.
Yep. Yeah, like just because it says something on a piece of paper don't mean that's what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Uh, I've had Hammond's dogs. I've had Red Boy dogs from here. We've had Red Boy dogs from out in Louisiana. I've had several different lines of the Chinaman stuff. A little bit of Frisco stuff. I've had grandsons of Jeep, grandson of Termite. Trying to think, what other bloods have I had? Old Colby stuff. I've had Budweiser Crusher from different people, so it was related to my stuff through the Budweiser Crusher, but like distantly. I've had the oil spill dogs. Trying to think, and I've had siblings of some of these dogs too. You know what I mean? So like, I have handled a lot of different bloodlines. We had Zebo dogs back in the day. I had a different line of Zebo dogs that was more modern. Like, I've had a bunch of different dogs that you don't see bred into my shit or on my yard anymore. And it's not necessarily to a fault of their own. You know what I mean? Sometimes stuff happens and it ain't out of your hands. But like at the same time, like, that's why I speak on some of these bloodlines of dogs. It's because I have had a lot of these dogs. Different bloodlines from different people. Like, there for a while, I was acquiring dogs and just comparing my dogs to them as they mature, having something for my dogs like to tug with that ain't related to them. You know what I mean? Maybe I've done a little bit of that, and I bought them specifically for that reason, just to have them to work against my dogs in tug of war. You know. Oh, I had some Canadian Pete dogs. They were good dogs. But like what Big A said though too is like I was that kid. Like if you look at that cartoon thumbnail that he created, that's me with my first dog when I was like 2 years old. Before I could even see, I had bulldogs around me. You know what I mean? I was the oldest kid. My big brother was a bulldog, literally. Like that dude, I loved that dog more than anything in this world. Like that right there, my love for these dogs straight up directly stems from Thor, specifically Thor. So like, I didn't care about his papers when I was a kid. I knew he was a bad motherfucker. I didn't give a shit about what his papers said. So like, I don't know, but now I understand. I'm like, okay, he was a good dog because of this. You know what I mean? Because of how he was bred. Like, he was a good dog because they were strict. He was produced through a strict breeding practice that was proven to work. And then my dad kept it very the same. Yeah, that's me. Thor was about 8 months old and I was about 2.5, almost 3. So, like, my love for these dogs, it started different than a lot of people's. That's where people don't understand. And then, like, the pedigree, well, like, Big A said, you know what I mean? He ain't a breeder, so, like, why the hell does he care about a pedigree too much? He just needs the dog to be badass. And I agree with that 100%. His expectations ain't in the wrong place. That's why he has success with Michonne. That's why he really loves Michonne. You know what I mean? Like, you had the dog in mind first. Knowing the papers are in order, you know. That you didn't even have to worry about. Didn't even have to care about because you know that's in order. So, like, you just wanted the dog to fit your standard.
Yeah, I try to have checks and balances too. You know what I'm saying? It's a little deeper than the dog. It's the man behind the dog. Who am I dealing with? You know what I'm saying? what kind of relationship do we have, as far as building with these dogs and and the whole nine, man. Do I have a option to reach out for questions? Are you concerned about, where this dog, what's going on with the dog? There's a lot of things, man, because there's a lot of great dogs out there with crooked men behind them, So it's like, I'd rather go, where, you get the full spectrum, man. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, like I say, for me, I try my damnedest to shop local. I mean, I don't try my damnedest. That's all I've done is shop local. I mean, within my region. So whatever region I'm in, that's where I'm shopping. So if I'm living in that area, then I'm fooling with that area and trying to get in tune with that area. Because that's just it. Because I can actually go out to the yard, I can see the yard, I can talk to the dog, man. We can build a relationship in the whole nine. Now, if I were to move to the other side of the country or whatever the case may be, we've already got that established. But reaching out to people from across the way that you really don't know, it's a lot of shakiness and confusion that can happen, misunderstandings and all types of stuff, man. I'd rather just keep it to the point to where I'm setting myself up for less of a chance of failure. Failure is always a chance. It's always there. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we all got to face, whether you in it or not. But I just try to keep it to the point to where my chances of success are good.
Well,
Yeah.
You're playing the game, not letting the game play you.
Yeah, man. I mean, because I've done it the exact not opposite as far as being outside the region, just running through dogs, running through pups, doing all types of stuff ass backwards. And what I learned was taking your time means everything, man. You'll get a lot further being patient and trying to make the right decision than trying to force it, man. Ending up with a whole bunch of stuff that you don't want, or running through so many dogs that you giving up all your good dogs and don't even know you're giving them up. Wanting them back where, I mean, it just is what it is. There's a whole bunch of stuff to it, but man, like for me, I'm in cruise mode, man. I'm in the slow lane,
It
I'm
feels more
just enjoying
comfortable there, don't it?
Well, I'm just enjoying the process.
Yep.
Everybody's always talking about the next generation, the next this, and the whole nine. And salute to that, man, for people who got skin in the game and can jump and hop, skip, and jump to where they're trying to go. But me, I'm just enjoying the dogs, man. I'm enjoying the process. I love spending time with the dogs. So just that alone right there, man, is just enough for me, man. We were talking about not service dogs, but like therapy type dogs, man. Besides
Emotional support animals.
Yeah, besides all the other stuff, man. Like that's one thing that's just well with me. That's my like man, it's no. I mean, people will let you down in life, man. They'll let you down in life, man. But put your trust and love in a dog, man. See what happens. Like so, like it's a lot of things that I go through, we all go through, man. And for me, man, like just enjoying the dogs by themselves, period. Because I'm gonna do everything that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work them. I'm gonna do all of that stuff. But at the same time, it's doing something for me too. It's keeping me level. Giving me something to do. So I don't, I don't know, go off my rock.
We need that focus and dealing with life and them growing and dealing with that. There's something fulfilling about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Helping it gives you a sense of organization also. Okay, so my brain is always going like a million miles a minute, dude. That's just who I am. That's who I've always been. That's why I was into the hobbies I've been into, like drawing, guitar. You know what I mean? They take up so much time and thought that it literally keeps you occupied for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, you'll be sitting there drawing, and then all of a sudden you realize, damn, it's dark outside already. Like, I've done that many times, right? Like, I've been tattooing, and I'm like, shit, it's already dark. Like, how long have we been tattooing for 3 hours? Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. That's just, and playing guitar, man. Like, I live in the house I learned how to play guitar in. I have the guitar I learned how to play guitar on. It's a 73 Martin D18. It was my grandpa's guitar. I let him borrow it. He come up here the other day, and I let him borrow his own guitar. So he's playing it right now. But, like, I sit out on the porch sometimes, like, before we get on, and, like, I'll just fool with my guitar and stuff. Just sit there right where I learned how to play at. And, I don't know. That's why I have so many dogs. My brain's going all the time. Like, I can focus on this many dogs. You know what I mean? They don't lack nothing because I got so many. That's one thing people gets mixed up, I believe. I can tell you what order my puppies have been born in. Every litter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, still to this day, I could sit here and write their names down and write out which order they come out in. And then I have pictures to prove it. I don't know. Like, I'm just obsessive over this shit. Like, producing puppies. That was where, I've said it before, that's where my dad got me into this shit. So, like, I've been addicted to that part of it. You know what I mean? Specifically. And my pups, they're 3 weeks old today, I think. They're 3 weeks old today. So, I'm going to start taking deposits. If anybody's hit me up, I'm going to start taking deposits. I'll have their ears cut at 6 weeks, and they'll be ready to pick up by 8 weeks. Stitches will be taken out. They'll be ready to go.
Looking all brand new.
Yep. They'll be ready to go. I'm excited. My little sister's getting one off this litter. My little sister's a gangster. She's got more bulldog in her than half of these men do. I promise. She's 8 years different from me, and I've seen her stand there and throw hands with me like a grown man. She is the shit as far as a little sister goes. And she moved to Tennessee recently, and I'm sending her a bulldog. Like, she's coming back to get it, and I know that she'll be safe. Especially in her house chilling.
It look good though. They caught.
And like, she was raised around bulldogs, so you know what I mean. She'll be 20. And I mean, I'm gonna give her one.
Or still on the turbo.
Yeah,
they copied the Audi on this one. This a cute deal. They copied the Audi.
See.
Motherfucker hit the brakes. I thought he was going.
Kind of people saluting each other.
Yeah, man, Doctor Game, break up.
He said, Kimmy James said, then you got some who shit on a scatterbred dog. Can't win for trying. No, that's the truth, bro. Everything you do, there's going to be somebody come at it with a counter. That's why when I say one thing, you'll always say, I'll hit you with the other side of it. Because I know the other side. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a flip.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff that I look at one way and somebody give their perspective on it or correction on it, it'd be like, damn, yeah, I never looked at it like that.
Well, like they say, there's two sides to the truth. No, there's three sides to the truth. Their side, the other side, and the truth. So I take everything into consideration. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, like, I could have been, like, there was a couple stupid things I almost done with Mason that my dad was like, nah. You know what I mean? Like, my dad put me in check on that shit. Nah, don't do that. No, don't do that. I mean.
Yeah. Sir. Man.
Like, I wanted to put him on hogs at a young age. I might not have Mason or any of the dogs I have right now if I would have went and done that. If I would have listened to my dad. My dad literally told me, you only have one of them. He said, you better think about that. That's what he said. You only have one of them, so you better think about that.
Yeah. Yep. And that's it. They hit you pretty hard, huh?
Yeah, I mean, hell, especially, I mean, my dad, dude, I'm telling you, stand up as they come. So, like, when he tells me something, he gets that from my papa, his dad.
Yeah.
Like, and his dad was the same way before him, so it's passed down. Like, once he tells me something, like, man, I listen to that. Like, I listen to my dad and my brother. They're the two best men I know. And then my stepdad Eric, he's right there at the third. Then Gary, he's right there with them. You know what I mean? My other stepdad.
Melee, Mori, Nagasaki, Yoshi. I mean, I keep messing that name up. No Yashi. Yeah.
Yep.
Yoshi.
I don't know, like, there's
Yoshi, man.
There's certain people you should listen to, because then there's other men, you know, that you would think, like, by looking at them, you're like, nah, I should look up to them. But then they were telling me to do the dumb shit. Nah.
Well,
I realize now they just wanted to see my dog get its ass whooped, and they wanted to discourage me. It's exactly what they wanted to do.
Yeah, but I was thinking about some things that you had said before, man. You had said something along the lines of sometimes you can't look at a dog the same way that your brother looks at a dog.
Yeah.
And I think, I could relate to your brother in that, like when you said that, I understood that. So, and you said your brother doesn't even fool with dogs, right?
My little brother from my mom and dad. So I got my little brother. We have the same parents, and then I got a little brother and a little sister. My little brother with the same parents, he owns 2 dogs for me, but he don't care about pedigrees and none of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, he just has the dogs. So, like, that's the one I run all the stuff by. Then my other little brother, he has his dad has Mason's brother. He's old. So, like, he don't even care about getting another dog or anything yet. So, like, but my brother is the next one little than me. That's who I run shit by. Because, like, he has a unbiased opinion based on all this stuff. Yeah. And he's one of the ones the whole time that was telling me when I was buying these other dogs and shit, he's like, bro, why do you keep buying these dogs? Like, he told me straight up, like, why do you keep buying them, bro? You keep making dogs that's better than these dogs you're buying. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just, until I feel that fully, I'm going to keep buying dogs.
Yeah. So, how did that turn out?
What, buying dogs?
Yeah, versus, in-house versus what
I don't buy dogs anymore.
Your lineage.
I'm not really gonna buy dogs.
At that time, did you run into a situation where you were like, man, I'll just stick with my yard, or what did you do? You got rid of those dogs? Did you keep them?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
I got rid of most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've had tons of shit. There are probably 30, 40 puppies that went through here that are not here anymore. I let them mature and everything.
Yeah.
Before I, was like, nah. But, like, it wasn't to no fault of their own. Other men would have been 100% perfectly happy with them. I just seen things I didn't want to add to my dogs through different ones. Like, I had one that foamed at the mouth, like, ridiculously. Like, I just didn't want to add that. I didn't want to cause my puppy. I could never figure out what was. I mean, I did everything under the sun. I asked all the OGs you can think of to ask. And I did everything under the sun, and that dog still foamed at the mouth, like, ridiculously. And
it would foam. It would only foam when it got excited.
Yeah, but like an excessive amount. Like, you ever seen the Scooby-Doo when he gets covered with all the pink foam and then he licks it off?
Yeah, like a Connie Corso or like a.
That's about how he does. I mean, it was bad. So, like, I mean, he was a great dog, phenomenal built, acted right, everything. You know what I mean? But he did that foaming at the mouth shit. And I just couldn't ever figure out why. And I was like, no, I'm not, I don't want to cause my dogs that don't have no problems like that to start doing shit like that. I didn't, I got rid of him. I mean, like, there's a few different situations where, I've gotten rid of dogs that, were bred phenomenal, but man, you like couldn't keep her healthy for some reason. Like, just, she'd be fine for months. And then all of a sudden she'd go downhill real quick. And then you get her back. But she was neglected before that. She was a well-bred dog, phenomenal dog, but she was neglected before that. And I was like, nah, I don't know if this is just who she is genetically or if this is just because of her being neglected. So I sent her to a good home. She got fixed and she's chilling at a home right now, you know what I mean? So I don't have to even question that in my future DNA. I don't know. Like, you got to be picky, but at the same time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hell, we're here. We breed and have kids with women and don't have no clue how they bred.
Yeah.
Well, I want to start seeing people's pedigrees.
Yeah.
Why don't we have a
Yeah.
Why don't we have a pedigree database for humans though, where you can start entering your shit and keep track of your pedigree? Why don't somebody needs to make that?
Hey,
Because I
hey,
have my
hey,
kid on it.
elevated. They don't want to see all them curves in their family, man.
Or that inbreeding. What about that? The people's a lot more inbred than they know.
Yeah, Tony M said, I feel him and keep nudging. I like hearing others' opinion. Might help or change how I view something. That's how I look at everything, man. I don't be tripping off of nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want to hear everybody's opinion because, man, if they, especially got some knowledge on it.
Yep. And I mean, like, opinion's important, right? Like, it stirs up conversation. It gets
Not
two
only
people that have an opposite opinion can have a better conversation sometimes than two people that think alike. The conversation will have more depth and substance to it.
Yeah, man. But we passed the time, man. We got to hold up and out of here, man. We got men at work coming up next. Yes, sir.
Is this a pre-recorded or is this straight up?
Nah, this is live, man. Yeah, Pimps back in there.
That boy Wells be sliding up out this joker like, goddamn it.
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm finna cut this grass, man. Y'all be smooth. I'm already outside, man.
Already, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Elevated, man. Where can they find you at, man?
Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of it under Elevated Kennels. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I like the way everything's working out, dude. I really do.
Yeah.
Eleanor.
Yeah,
so I have the pedigree made up for Mason to Eleanor, which is his granddaughter, and it's looking like she took. So I might have another litter of puppies in about 2 weeks.
Okay. Damn. Back to back. By the time these are out the door, you'll have some on the way.
Shit, I bred 4 dogs, and I mean, I'm glad I do that because, you know what I mean? Sometimes they take, sometimes they don't. When you're not progesterone testing, you're just doing straight up breedings. I like rolling the dice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a gambler for some reason. Like, I don't like the idea of losing my money to things, but I like rolling the dice when it comes to these dogs because most of the time I'm usually not wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I hope that she throws me a few puppies, 5 or 6. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
I always like to predict, see if I was right when I go to predict it. So I'm thinking she's probably gonna have 5 or 6.
That's what's up. You say you usually on point, huh?
You cut out.
All right. I cut out. Can you hear me now? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You said I usually what?
You usually on point when it comes to the number that come out of your liver.
Yeah. I can usually look at a bitch and kind of tell how many she's got in her. I've been tricked one time, dude. Sissy was massive the first time I bred her. She was massive, dude. And she threw 2 puppies. And I was like sitting here waiting, feeling her stomach. I'm like, there ain't no way there's only 2. There was only 2 of them. And they were just big as shit. So like I was kind of tricked by that one.
Tony Hill says gambling helps deal with rejection. Don't have no choice but to take them L's if you playing. Man. Yeah.
When you do that, you're willing. You already got the L in mind. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh God, I took an L. Nah, you already had that shit in mind. It's fine. Whatever. Move on.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. We're all humans, and we're breeding a live animal. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
cool,
man. Yeah. They say, man. Yeah, man. Y'all know what it is, man. You know we got that digital dog show coming up at the end of the month. And that is one of the biggest, if not the biggest digital dog show to this day. We got over $600 in cash prize giveaways. We got a few call outs. We got the dog of the month on that day. We got 3 free t-shirt giveaways on that day. We got the dog of the month getting the t-shirt on that day. We got what else we got, man? We got the obedience challenge coming up. What's up?
If you ain't a member, what are you doing? It's starting at $1.
Man, at $8, $1
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? $1 Yeah.
Forever member, I mean, it pushes the movement, so.
It does, man. That means the Digital Dog Show gets bigger. Yeah, Digital Dog Show gets bigger, man. We gonna have an in-person show next year, man. We slowly coming your way, man. You know, one way or the other, man. And at the end of the day, man, you know, it ain't even necessarily about the money, man. Like, it's showcasing these dogs, man. You could put your dog out there, man, when you're on the way to having a litter, man. Put your stud in the Digital Dog Show, man. You know, litter coming soon. Holla at your boy. You know, same thing with the dog of the week. And these things happen month after month after week after week, weekend to weekend to weekend, you know. So y'all tune in for that, man. And it costs you nothing to hit that like button, man. You know. Hey, and man, I like to salute Elevated, man, because I be watching Elevated grow, man. Elevated be coming around, man, you know. And salute Elevated, man. Standing strong, man. Like, I salute you, man. You know. Yeah, man, you know what it is, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is.
Y'all have a estimated date for the dog show? Like, what month are y'all thinking next year?
I think Dre has said it's going to be October, I think. Maybe October, I think he said.
Okay.
When the South Bottom show? I think it's in February. So
it was February, but it was March the first year and February the second year, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. It's around that area. So
I didn't go the first year, but I knew about it. I wanted to go.
Yeah, we're trying to do it somewhere. I think prior to it or after the show. So yeah.
And it's gonna be in Texas, down there where you're at.
Yeah, in the Tone, man, the good old San Antonio, lame ass San Antonio.
I'll come through just to get some warm weather.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, man, it's the lamest city in Texas, man, but it's one of the greatest cities in Texas. Because I'm lame. I ain't gonna hide it, man. The boy A is a lame. I just be sitting at the house doing nothing but fooling with these dogs, man. So take care of family. So it's perfect for me, you know. But if you in the fast lane, you like that flash and bang, you can shoot down to Austin, Dallas, Houston. They got what you want, man. They really got what you want. But San Antonio is lame. So yeah, come on down here to the Tone, man. You know.
Shit, you know I'll be there.
Yeah.
If it's in the 50, don't be surprised if we show up.
Yeah.
At least 49. I might not go to Hawaii because I can't take a dog.
Yeah. Nah, man. We all on the same plot of land, man. Ain't no, it shouldn't be any real water between us, you know.
No,
but yeah, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We got Men at Work coming up next. But until then, you know what it is. You ain't gotta go nowhere, man. We coming right back at you, and we out.
Yeah. Beat drop, slow head, not flow. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Started with Boogeyman, ghost
wrist and a chain. Locked in the game, never move for fame. Old mountain lions run deep in the flame. Sock about the fire, Michonne brought the name. Then came fat boy, muscle in the frame. Man, hard, put respect on the name. Shotgun smooth, but the work insane. Sugar sweet jit, but a bite ain't tame. Kiki in the back, had a game in the veins. Gatorade heavy, ran it straight through the rain. Red ninja close, watch him work in the lane. Renegade rider can't hold that chain. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Saki from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breed for clout, we breed for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Ain't no luck, just grit and grind. Every dog here put work in time. Lady Rage got that fire in her eyes. Red alert taught us how to recognize signs. Blood heavy like a 2-ton chain. Everything proven, no need to explain. They asked what's in it, that yellow campaign. Built off real, we don't fake no strain. Second with the flame, it's shown lit the wick. If you know, then you know that line too slick. From the field to the show, every move so thick you can't blueprint this. It's the legacy pick. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Second from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breed for clout, we breed for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die.